Howdy, welcome back to another video. Since we've owned the Newlands Terracer 660 triple bunk Caravan, we've had one main issue with it, which is filling the tank up with one inlet. So as we fill the tank up, it actually lets water out of the main inlet. We do have two tanks on this Caravan. We have tried to fill both tanks from the bottom from the top as well. We also have tried another system with putting an extension piece into the actual inlet to make it go further down, which we've had the same sort of scenario with that. What we're going to try and do is have two different inlets. We'll have this one here and then have another one right next to it here. Ideally, we would have liked to have the second inlet roughly around here. We can't do that, unfortunately. We do have the Dometic three-way fridge here, so we're a bit limited to the space. So we've come to the conclusion there is a bit of ply running from the fridge to about here. So what we'll do is we'll put the other inlet right next to it for the second tank, and hopefully that will eliminate having water coming back out the main inlet for each tank. So at the moment we're just underneath the Caravan. This 25mm pipe is the main pipe or hose that fills both these tanks. I feel like the main reason why we have water coming back out of the inlet is due to this T-piece here, which is directed to both tanks. I feel like the water hits here and then obviously it slowly releases into both tanks compared to the water pressure that goes in. With also saying that is both tanks are on the same breather at the inlet. I feel like if both tanks had their own separate inlet and their own breather, I feel like the issue will be removed. So what I'm going to go and try is put a joiner between here and the first front tank, and obviously see if that removes the back fill with water in the inlet, and then yeah, we'll go from there before I drill a 120mm hole. So what I've done is I've just put that joiner underneath the van, so this one inlet is going to the front tank only. So what I've done is I did that joiner underneath the van. That's got the 25mm piece just put into it at the present moment. So the water's on. That's just rainwater pressure at the present moment. So obviously try and push that as far down as possible as you can, and that has stopped the water coming back up. So I reckon I've fixed that issue, but time will tell. So what I've done, sorry about the quality of the light, but so what I've done is that is the inlet filler here for the water. Just goes down through that little hole here. Also you can see the ground there. That is from the T-piece that was underneath the Caravan, and that was the breather from the T-piece as well. So what we'll do is we'll have a look underneath the van, probably cut another hole maybe here somewhere, or maybe closer to the drain for the kitchen sink. And then yeah, go from there. But ideally right there will be the other inlet for the water, so then we'll have both the lines right there. We'll see how we go. So yeah, I've just done the hole for this one. That's a 92mm hole saw bit. So what I've done is I've measured from the bottom lip to the bottom of the actual inlet. That's 130mm. And then again from the bottom lip to the inner bit of where the hole saw will start to cut, which is 150mm. Obviously every van's going to be different in that aspect of measurements, but that's just what I've used on mine. So that should give it a nice even look for either side of it. So just on the inside of the new inlet filler, I've used this weather stripping tape. This was just purchased through Burson's. That's just a one-sided sticky tape, and the other side's just obviously non-stick to go across onto the metal. Also, with the breather pipe, we had a bit of an issue from factory with that one. I've just put some thread tape just around the inlet, the inlet of the breather, just to stop any water from leaking through that, and then obviously clamping that down, but I can show you that on the inside of the van. So yeah, this is obviously inside of the van. This was the pre-existing water inlet. This is the inlet we just made a hole for. So probably another thing would be is when you're doing the new hole, only get to a certain point, maybe go halfway, and then just make sure you do it on the other side. It will just give you a bit of a nicer finish on the inside of the cabinetry. That's what the cutout was. And this section here is obviously the floor. What I did with that one, I used a 45mm hole saw for that one. So this was the pre-existing one, which the hole was fairly large, like probably about a 50 or 60mm hole saw bit, and this is the 45 one, so a little bit more or less area for dust to get through. So back underneath the Caravan at the moment, so we got brand new 10mm breather hose, brand new 25mm hose. That was just from Super Cheap Auto as well. But obviously the main thing would be is before you drill, just make sure you have a look underneath your van, make sure you don't hit any gas lines. That's the cold water line and obviously the hot water line, so you can see how close it is. Before I come underneath here and before I drilled the hole, I made sure that obviously I moved these away, further away as I can before making the hole, just to make sure we don't hit them. So the first hole, which you were just seeing inside the van, that is for the front tank, so very minimal 25mm hose straight through, and obviously the new 25mm for the back tank down the back there. So at the moment we're just going to fill both tanks up. Got the water going in as we speak, so it's working as it should, with no water coming back out the main inlet. So I had to take one of the wheels off just to get better access to the plumbing for both tanks, just to make it a bit more easier, which all the plumbing's all done, and see how we go after this. So I've just obviously filled up the first front tank, just gone to the back tank now, and same thing, no water coming back out the main inlet. So to me that is definitely a win. Obviously previously, before having the second one, we did obviously have the first one here, but awesome. So as you can see, both tanks are completely full, so they've been transferring between both each other as well. So that's definitely a good scenario to have. So that's a bit of a wrap up, guys. I have finished off the whole plumbing underneath as well. Done the silicone for the main holes through the floor. Make sure you're using a good sort of sealant for that. You don't want to have dust coming through your van on those dusty roads. So some of the tools we did use was the 92mm hole saw for the side of the van, and the 45mm hole saw to go through to into the floor. Just make sure you're double checking below before you make the initial drill part. You don't want to be going through a gas line or a water line, otherwise you're just going to create a lot more work for yourself. Just another thing as well, with the side of the van, just maybe go a quarter of the way through the aluminium or whatever material is on the side of your van, and just double check, make sure there's no wires going across where you're going to have the hole saw. If there is, you may have to cut and rewire them, just so you've got that bit of leeway for the new inlet. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there, and yeah, give the video a like. If you have any questions, yeah, comment below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Cheers guys, thanks.